Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is a buy or sell 10th round ADP video. Pretty much does that mean will I buy or sell a player at their current ADP in the 10th round, which also means will I draft or avoid a player at that certain position in the 10th round. Round 1 through 9 is also available on my channel, so if you go down below, click on my channel, and while you're clicking on my channel, click that subscribe button so that you can win your league. You're going to be getting content of how to win your draft, how to win during the regular season by making waivers, making trades, and setting your lineup correctly. So you guys need to make sure you to subscribe for that, and we're going to get right into the video here. Okay, this video was actually recorded August 3rd, which is a Saturday in the morning. So if any injuries happened before that, then I will not have been able to know about it. I will leave it in the comments if any injuries happen to any of these guys. Let's hope not. But that's why the video was recorded one day earlier. That's pretty much how all my videos are. They're one day early. Or I would record them the day before. So at the 10-1, we have running back of the Houston Texans, Dante Foreman. Now, Dante Foreman is a buy. Now, I like Dante Foreman because of the fact that a lot of people believe that Lamar Miller is getting way too old. He's boring. He is boring in real life, very boring to watch. But he's a guy that is able to get it done in fantasy by scoring just 12 or 13 points every single week, and he's so consistent at doing that he ends up as a top 12 running back and a solid running back 2, or sometimes even ends up as a running back 1, and he literally does not do anything to make you think that he could do that. So with the fact that he's so boring and the fact that they want to use Dante Foreman makes him a buy for me. Now I don't draft him in every single draft, and I don't necessarily even target this guy, but if I'm in the 10th round and I don't really have a lot of running backs, or I want to get a running back that I think has super high upside, I'd go with Dante Foreman. He's obviously good in the pass catching as well. There's really no competition for Dante Foreman for getting the running back 2 spot on the team. So I think Dante Foreman is going to be able to get that running back 2 spot. Will he be able to emerge and steal the RB1 spot? Potentially. Does he have value this late in the draft? Yes, and for that reason, that's why I like him. So at the 10:02, we have Dante Foreman's teammate, actually, Houston Texans wide receiver Kiki Cootie, the wide receiver 3 on Houston, and he is a buy for me as well. Now you might ask, Nick, why are you buying a wide receiver 3 on a team? Why are you drafting wide receiver 3 in the 10th round when there's wide receiver 2s going in this round? Blah, 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 blah. A bunch of fucking bullshit is what that is, because Kiki Cootie is going to be playing on the field a lot. And what you have to know about Kiki Cootie is he's behind one of the best receivers in the NFL, DeAndre Hopkins. The second best guy on the team is Will Fuller, a guy who absolutely tears it up. But you know what he also does? He tears his ACL. He tears his leg. He fucking always ends up getting hurt during the season. Now, I wish he wouldn't get hurt, because if he wasn't going to get hurt, Will Fuller in like the 7th round, wherever you can draft him, is going to be very good for like 6 weeks. He'll be like the flex that you start, and you just fucking destroy your fucking opponent. Sorry if that was very loud in your ear, but what I'm saying is he just absolutely will eviscerate your opponent. Now, I believe that by like week 6, he will be hurt. So I think Kiki Cootie will end up being the wide receiver 2 for most of the season, or at least half of the season. And I think even while he's a wide receiver 3, he's on such a great offense with Deshaun Watson. Like I said, the great receivers, 2 good running backs, Lamar Miller and Dante Foreman, and they have a great defense as well. So I think that Kiki Cootie will honestly probably end up being a great flex option that you can draft at the end of the 10th round. And against certain matchups, obviously, if you can play him in a favorable matchup, then he's going to be even better and even more worth your 10th round pick. And once Will Fuller does inevitably go down, if he somehow stayed fucking healthy, that would be the craziest shit ever. So I think that Kiki Cootie will end up being worth this 10:02 spot. So at the 10:03, we have Denver wideout Emmanuel Sanders. Now he's a sell. Now I'm willing to draft Emmanuel Sanders, but I'm not willing to draft him at the 10th round. He's more of a 13th round guy that sometimes I snag, or a 14th round, like right before I'm picking my kicker and defense. Now Emmanuel Sanders got hurt last year. He still could come back. He's coming back this year. He may end up playing week 1, and he may end up being the wide receiver 1 on the team. I would not be very surprised about that, but I would much rather, like I said in the video from yesterday, in the 9th round ADP video, that I would much rather just target Deshaun Hamilton a few rounds later. Yeah, because I think he will end up being the wide receiver 1 on the team. Emmanuel Sanders is getting kind of old. He was able to do it in years past. Now he was probably a great receiver just 2 years ago. Even last year before he got hurt, he played pretty well. But I think that Obviously, the injury may happen again due to the fact that he's fucking old, and I just think that he is just not the best option in the 10th round when there's other wide receivers going in the 10th or 11th that I'd much rather target than a guy like Emmanuel Sanders. So at the 10-4, we have Austin Hooper, tight end, Falcons. Now, he's a buy for me. Now, I don't love Austin Hooper because I don't think he is going to be super good, but he's like the last. Him and Njoku are like the last of the tight ends that you really are fine with taking. Now, I like Mark Andrews later, but once you get past Austin Hooper and Mark Andrews, you're in a fucking wasteland of guys like Greg Olson, Delaney Walker, of Chris Herndon, who's got the fucking DUI, who you can't even play for the first couple of weeks of the season. So it's a fucking wasteland back there. We got Delaney Walker, and it's just very confusing. So if you want to just go ahead and get a guy that you know is every week going to probably be in, unless he's hurt, he's going to be in every single game. He's going to play in every single game, probably catch a few passes, get you like 7 points. So if you're really scared about waiting and getting a huge flyer at tight end, I'd just go with Austin Hooper because he's kind of safe. Whereas, obviously the guys in front of him are a lot better, but at the same time, if you want a safe option in the 10th round, Austin Hooper's the best you're going to get before it really turns into a straight up fucking wasteland back there at the tight end position. So at the 10-5, we have Jameis Winston, quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's a buy. Now, I believe that that Jameis Winston is not that great of a real life quarterback because I know he loves throwing interceptions. He throws as many picks. He throws so many fucking picks that it's absolutely crazy. Now, last year, you kind of have to take that away from Jameis because fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. The Fitzmagic himself came in for like 4 weeks, stole his job, played fucking great, and then they benched fucking Fitzpatrick in the middle of some games, brought Jameis in, started Jameis, benched Jameis. It was a very up and down year for Jameis. Jameis was very confused probably, and I think that you just take that year away because I don't really think he had time to develop or time to get ready or anything because they're just throwing him into the game randomly once Fitzpatrick just fucking stinks it up. So I think that Jameis will end up having a great year. There's no one behind him to threaten the job. I don't even know who the quarterback 2 or 3 on the Buccaneers is, so he's perfectly fine there. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot, and because of the fact that they really have no defense, their defense is in shambles. They don't even have a guy on defense who really gives you that name recognition. So I just think that they're going to be on offense so much trying to come back in games where they're going to be slinging it to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, OJ Howard. They have quite good wide receiver core there. Now, their running backs don't really matter too much when you have Jameis Winston, who's going to be throwing the ball a lot, but all I mean is I think that Bruce Arians is also a step up at the coaching position, and I think that since they have such a weak defense, they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. And I think Jameis Winston, even though he'll throw a few interceptions, he'll end up having a pretty solid year. And at the 10th round, I really do like Jameis Winston here. I think James Winston could end up being like a top 8 quarterback if all the cards fall his way. So at the 10:06 we have Mr. DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf is a sell. Now, in some drafts I will end up taking DK Metcalf, so I don't necessarily hate the guy, but I don't know if he's going to be the wide receiver too on the team. They've got guys, they have so many names there. They have Davis, they have all these guys, and maybe his name isn't even Davis. I'm just so bad at names, but they have a bunch of guys they're running. They didn't necessarily use DK Metcalf too much in these training camp things that I'm seeing, but Pete Carroll said DK Metcalf is pretty good, and they obviously not wasted, because I guess it probably won't end up being a waste, a pick on a second round pick on a guy like DK Metcalf. Now, the one thing is that DK Metcalf obviously is not that great of a route runner. Will he be able to figure it out just a couple weeks in the season? Probably not. Will DK Metcalf be worth a pick a few years down the road in the 10th round? Probably. He may even end up being like a 5th round pick. He could end up being great. But right now, I don't necessarily want DK Metcalf every single week in my lineups. That's why I'm just not drafting him now. If this was a best ball league, DK Metcalf will probably have 4 games this season where he goes 3 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown, where he just goes crazy because he just absolutely jumps over some guy because he's way bigger than him, catches the ball, and just runs it into the end zone, or make crazy catches because of how tall he is. But I don't necessarily trust him too much in season long, so that's why he's a sell. So at the 10:07, we have 49ers running back. Sorry, I kind of burped. 49ers running back at the 10:07, Jerick McKinnon. And Jerick McKinnon is a sell. Now, I've drafted Jerick McKinnon before in the mocks, if you watch the mocks, but typically it's not in the 10th round. It's in like the 12th round or the 13th round. I typically only target, the only 49er running back I truly target is Matt Breida. And I've talked about Matt Breida a lot because I like him in fantasy. I think that he's the latest or the latest. He goes the latest out of all the 49ers running backs. And a report came out 2 days ago when you're watching this 2 days ago that they like that Burrito's been all over the field. He's catching passes, running the ball. He will get hurt every single game, Matt Burrito, and still come back out the next game and fucking destroy for you. He's a true team player right there, and he's a true fantasy team player. But Jerick McKinnon, on the other hand, I just don't really trust him at the 10th round. I'd rather just draft running back slightly later than him. And at this point, I typically have a shit ton of running backs, so I'm not really too worried about picking a guy like Jerick McKinnon here. Now, at the 10:08, we have a similar position to Jerick McKinnon. There's a lot of cooks all up on the kitchen on the Redskins for AP, so that's why he's a sell. There's too many running backs there. There's Geis, there's Peterson, there's the one running back who just catches a bunch of passes. I forgot what Chris Thompson, that's his name. There's so many guys there. It's so fucking confusing. Are they going to use AP like they did last year? Are they going to try to use Geis? Are they going to be confused and use Geis and Peterson at the same time? And Chris Thompson's going to be taking all the pass work away. It's a very confusing situation there over on the Washington Redskins. So I'm just going to strictly avoid that whole backfield, cancel them out. I'm not even looking to draft any of those guys. And I may feel stupid when Darius Geis, a few rounds ahead of this, maybe in like the 8th round or whenever he went, 7th, 6th round. You can go watch all the videos. He's in there. I talked about him. Blows up. But he got injured last year, and I just don't trust a guy with such injury proneness to be on my fantasy team. And I don't really like AP either because he's on that team. And it's just very confusing. If Geis was to go down, I'd probably trust AP to start a few games on my fantasy team. So at the 10:09, we have Mr. Deshaun Jackson, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver. Now going, this motherfucker loves switching teams, and he came back to Philly where he formerly was, and he is a buy for me now. I don't want to start Deshaun Jackson every week. He's kind of like DK Metcalf, but in my opinion, he has a better role than DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, we don't even know how many fucking snaps he's going to get. We know Deshaun Jackson will be out there a lot, a lot, a lot. He's not the wide receiver 1 on the team. He's like the wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, depending how they use Aguilar. The 1 is probably Alshon Jeffrey. So Deshaun Jackson is a speedy guy. He's a slot guy. He'll be in the slot. He'll have games where he definitely produces a lot for you, and I think he's going to be probably pretty safe, scoring like 7 or 8 points a game in like a PPR thing, catching the ball a bunch. And I think that if Carson Wentz is able to stay healthy throughout the whole season, Deshaun Jackson is going to have a pretty solid season this year, especially a guy who you're picking this late in the draft. So at the 10:10, the next pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. And if you've watched any of these videos, if you watch any of my videos before, and if you like this video, just go down below, click that subscribe button. Like I said, no free ads. We're all about this joining the subscriber. You got to be a subscriber so that you can get all the videos. But Jacksonville Jaguars defense at the 10:10 is a sell. That's pretty obvious because I don't like drafting defenses. But out of the last 2 rounds, now if you want to go defense, kicker defense, doesn't fucking matter to me. Whatever floats your goddamn boat. But don't pick the Jacksonville defense because it's much easier to just go in the last round and stream a defense every single week. And pretty much what that means is you draft a defense for week 1. And then if they don't have a good matchup week 2, if they're not playing against a shitty offense week 2, you just drop them and then play a completely different defense, and you just keep changing every single week. That's called streaming, and I will make a video about that. But at the 10:11, we have Philip Rivers. Now I do like Philip Rivers, but he's a sell at this pick because I'd rather at this point just go with a guy like Dak a few rounds later, a guy like Josh Allen, a guy like Justin Jackson, not Justin Jackson, a guy like Lamar Jackson. Justin Jackson's a running back on Philip Rivers' team. So Philip Rivers is very safe. He is very consistent. He is going in the 10th round. He almost has as many kids as the round he's going in. He has like 8 fucking kids. He pretty much has a whole offense of kids on his team if he's the quarterback. But that has nothing to do with his fantasy, the amount of fucking kids he has. But Philip Rivers is going to end up probably being pretty consistent, just like he was last year, finishing as like a top 15 quarterback, and a guy that is always just going to be so consistent. You don't even have to really worry about how Philip Rivers does, because he'll always put up 15 points, and he'll just be the average guy. But I'd rather take a risk later with a guy like Dak. Dak, I don't believe is very risky, but a guy like Josh Allen kind of risky. A guy like Lamar Jackson kind of risky. I'd rather just do that than go with a guy that is super safe like Phillip Rivers. So for that reason, he's a sell. Now at the 10-12, we have Golden Tate, Mr. 4-game suspension, and I have him as a buy on the screen right now. But don't look at that because you don't want anything to do with Golden Tate. Golden Tate is suspended. He is not a buy. I'm gonna actually go out and exit this and just change it to a sell so you don't have to fucking look at this. I'm gonna go with sell. You're gonna sell Cam Newton. Not Cam Newton. You're gonna sell fucking Golden Tate. You don't want anything to do with Golden Tate. His thing might be green right now, but we changed it because you don't want anything to do with Golden Tate. He's got a 4-game suspension. You're not drafting some sorry ass wide receiver who's suspended for 4 fucking games in the 10th round. That's just fucking stupid. If you get him in the 13th round, go ahead if you believe that he will be the wide receiver 1 ahead of Sterling Shepard, who is also injured. But otherwise, I'm not touching this guy. I will never draft him because I just don't believe in Golden Tate, and I don't believe in drafting a guy who is going to be suspended for so long. So thank you guys all for watching the video. Please, 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 please click that subscribe button down below so you guys can win your league. I'm going to be giving you tips, tricks, how to win your draft, how to win during the season, how to pick up the correct waivers, how to set your lineup, and how to fucking make trades to win your goddamn league, and how to pick up defenses. So thank you guys all for watching. Like I said, click on one of the videos that's also on your screen right now. You're going to fucking enjoy all of them. All of them are just fucking hilarious. I'm so fucking funny, guys. That's just what I do. So have a great goddamn day, and I'll see you guys in probably a third video today, potentially. Maybe just tomorrow. Who fucking knows what I end up doing. Have a great goddamn day, guys. I love you all. Goodbye.